And Egyptian businessmen are concerned as well. The country exports steel to the United States and is fearing a drop in sales if the trade tensions escalate. We spoke to CGTN's Yasser Hakim about this.
Obviously, there is concern within the Egyptian businessmen about the trade war between China and the U.S. For example, the U.S. Has said that it will impose around 53% tariffs on countries like Egypt and other countries besides China for its steel imports. Now, Egypt's exports to the U.S. concerning steel has risen in the last 2 years by over 250% because of the floating of the Egyptian pound. Now, this has been an important factor to increase revenue for the economically stricken country. Losing this advantage again and having higher tariffs would mean that exports would drop back to very low levels that will affect the revenue coming, the revenue stream coming from exports of steel to the United States, and these exports amount to around 11% of Egypt's total exports, and therefore it will be a big hit to that industry, to that sector, and the overall numbers coming from revenues of Egypt's exports. Therefore, the businessmen, and some of them, are thinking about alternative markets to re-export its products away from the U.S., which feels that it could be a market that is volatile and will be risky in the next few months. This is one sector we're talking about, which is the steel and aluminum. Obviously, there have been threats by the U.S. that these measures and tariffs and the higher tariffs will go into other products as well, such as agricultural products. And agricultural products are a main export for Egypt. Egypt is a main exporter of agricultural products to the U.S. And again, this can be affected even more than the steel, could have a diverse and negative effect on the Egyptian economy. So yes, there are concerns from businessmen on this regard, but also there could be a positive impact, if you may call it, if countries like China and the European Union, who are at odds with the U.S., would look at alternative markets to import their products, and therefore can look at emerging markets like Egypt and others in Africa and seek their products, their imports from there rather than the U.S.